Assalamu alaikum everyone. Welcome to our CSE 316 microcontroller project demonstration. Our project name is YAPG or yet another Pong game. I am Shehabul Islam Sawraz and my project partners are Mohammad, Abrar, Nafee, Akhand and Mobaswirul Islam. So YAPG is basically a tennis-like game where we have two paddles, one for each player, and a ball. The players have to hit the ball with their paddle and make other player miss the ball to get a point. The one reaching 9 points first will be the winner. So for making this game, we have used ATmega32 microcontroller, two LED matrix as the interface where players will play the game, two sonar sensor, which is basically the core component of our game. We are using sonar sensor to measure the distance of our hand from the sensor, and we will use this distance to move the pad in our game. The next is we are using a LCD display where players can see their points. And lastly, buzzer and vibration motor as haptic feedback for the players, which will make the game more intense and enjoyable. Now let's understand the algorithm behind our project. So we will mainly focus on the port D of our ATmega32 microcontroller, which is controlling the core components of our project. Here we will use pin 0 and pin 1 as the input trigger and pin 2 and pin 3 as the interrupt. As we can see here, we are initializing our NCD with the default points for each player, which is 0. In these two lines, we are initializing our interrupts, and in the next 4 lines, we are saying that we want to make our interrupt work in the falling edge. Then we are calling the global interrupt. Here we are seeing that we are using a while loop, which will help us to take the input from the players or the sensors simultaneously or all the time. We are using a variable called cycle count, which will help us to take input from player 1 and player 2 separately, and this will make the game more smooth. So when cycle count is for player 1, we are enabling the trigger at D0, and this D0 trigger will enable the interrupt 0. And if we come to the interrupt 0, here we can say that the sonar is counting a time and saving it in the pulse 1. And after 15 microsecond, we are just disabling the trigger. So we will count the distance based on this pulse 1, and we will set our pad 1 or the pad for the first player. We are doing the same for the second player, just the difference is that we are using the trigger at the pin D1. Then we are just updating our interface, and we are doing this until our state is not game over. And when the state is game over, then we are just restarting our game again. Here we can see that two players are playing a game. One thing to mention that when a players make a point, the speed of the ball will increase. And when a player will make a point, the buzzer and the haptic feedback will be given. So let's enjoy the game.